Welcome to InnovateAFITC Hackathon 2020 Data Science Resources video. This will help you get started. First things first, this is a quick overview of AI, which is one goal of data science. Computer automation of tasks that take human intelligence, vision, seeing and understanding, audio, hearing and understanding, speaking, and making calculated guesses based on data or input is one of the goals of data science. As you can see here, the whole point is to be able to take a human task and see if you can automate it based on data and having the right amount of data. This is just an overview. So let's get started. How to start your first data science project. I have a URL there to an article, and in that article it mentions the three main steps. Identify a real-world problem. One of the examples they use is somebody selling keychains and they receive comments, and they want to have those comments responded to without them having to do it, so automating that process. We see that in a lot of chatbots, but also if you think about an application you might need for some task, that's one of the first steps. And then deciding what data do you need, what data sets. There are a number of free data sets, and we're going to provide those as part of this presentation, and you'll find them in the more information associated with this YouTube video. Third, perform analysis and modeling. So once you've started to build out, you need to continually tune your data and tune your algorithm. The Air Force has many use cases, examples that have already been started, and I provide a link here. Those will be provided, as I said before. But we know with drones, unmanned combat vehicles, smarter maps, being able to just see an image of a map and see changes, and then being able to act in a way that is appropriate for whatever situation. Pilot training, being able to look at data related to the performance of pilots in various actions to assess their performance and enhancing their training. Space situation, we see SpaceX and all the things going on there. They use a lot of AI to help to ensure that they safely can travel into space and return. Cybersecurity, clearly understanding real threats versus fake threats and being able to respond. One example I added was cognition. They do it for building security. They actually have a system of being able to track people within your building and being able to match it and to add the security with AI parameters to make sure no person is outside of their approved areas. Start. Here is an example of the data sets. We have local data for those in Montgomery. There's an open data portal that you can go to. Kaggle is one of the major ones. Google has some data, and even the federal government. These are all resources after you've decided what project you want to work on and what actual real-world application. You would go to these sources and see if data exists that will help to make sure your project is successful. You could also use your own data, so that is one of the other key things. Like we said earlier, here are some of the free tools. Python generally is the easiest and simplest to start with. There are other tools that you'll see in some of the tutorials that we provide. All these links are provided as your reference for places to go and tutorials associated with them that will help you get started. But Python, Anaconda, NumPy, Matplot, Skykit, these are some of the keys. But then there are others where they, Google has tools. PyTorch is one that's used. And then I have a list of a link there to the top free data science tools, which should be helpful to get you going. And there are a number of tutorials, and these links are provided in the info as part of this YouTube video. Another place to look is DevPost. DevPost provides example projects, and I always click on the winners to get an idea of what projects have won in the past. And it is a good resource if you get stuck for ideas. I'm going to provide you a number of slides related to this. One key reference, and I give you a link to an article, is understanding the full data science lifecycle. As you look at once you've done a few projects, you might want to think about enterprise scale. And so understanding the scope of your project, and then understanding what you need, and then building it and deploying it into a continuous integration and deployment, and then monitoring it. This is how in the real world, some of the examples we're going to show you in a little bit, these companies have built a full life cycle so that the machine learning and data science projects continue to improve and give better results over time. Here are some examples of commercial ideas that are actually being used. So if you think in e-commerce, they have applications. That's why even grocery stores, everybody is collecting data on you. So if you join a rewards program, or you enter your email anywhere, or you have any of those apps that make it easier for you to buy or sell products, they're collecting data on you, and then they're making recommendations. They're analyzing the reviews to see if a product needs to be removed. In manufacturing, they're studying failures and the actual tasks that are performed there. Of course, banking, you know, credit card companies and loan applications, that all is automated, and they pull data from a variety of sources to make those decisions. Healthcare, we see with COVID going on now, there are a number of applications that are trying to help to verify that the vaccine is actually working as it should, tracking, contact tracing, trying to map out how they can contain a virus in a particular city or area. And we know with logistics, Amazon uses this, FedEx, UPS to enhance, and then safety and self-driving cars. So many operations and customer satisfaction. So there are lots of ideas when you start thinking about an application you would like to, you can look at some of these examples and think about how you could build one for our local city here in Montgomery. Like I said before, there are many tutorials. This is just one example of a tutorial. And when we think about it, data science is just about extracting, preparation, analysis, visualization, and maintenance of information. It's a cross-disciplinary field which uses scientific methods and processes to draw insight from the data. And you can use it for machine learning, you can use it for statistics or marketing and sales, as we showed in some of the other examples. Google provides an excellent resource, and I suggest you start there also. There are a number of them, but Google has some very good resources. IBM has excellent resources, and I suggest you check out these if you find the others not as helpful. But there are so many good resources on data science, because this is the future, and a lot of enterprises are using this to make their business more productive, and also to do things that they couldn't do in the past. If you think of our vaccine with COVID, a lot of the data that has been collected is now being used to make it easier for us to find a future answer, where in the past it may have taken years. We've shrunk that using machine learning and AI and data science. So this is an excellent field to learn more. If you want an excellent site to find some projects to get started, to just the Dataflare sites, and these links are provided. They have some beginner data science projects. You know, they have one example, and they give you the source code so you can see how they did it. Fake news detection. That's a pretty cool one now, as everyone tries to make sure that they get the facts instead of one view that is not actually accurate. But that's a good place to start. Dataflare, I've used a lot of them in this presentation, but those are excellent places for you to go.